Hey, what's up, guys? The video you're about to watch is a live recorded internal sales training that I ran with a sales team that I was managing. It's going to go through some really interesting concepts that apply to not just sales or working in an environment where you're selling, but also just everyday life and mental models for us to be able to continuously get better. It's not completely polished or edited because, as I said, this is actually just a recording from a live internal training. So it is going to have that raw feel, but nonetheless, it's still going to be super valuable. If you do have maybe a bit of a shorter attention span, go ahead, feel free to put the video on like 1.5 or 2x speed, and you'll still be able to get a lot of gold out of it. With all that being said, let's get into the training. Typically, like whenever people think about the future and think about how life is going to go and how things pan out, typically, right, if we just imagine this is the timeline of life, right, people think it's going to go one of three ways. They think it's either going to get better, right? They think that life is going to get worse, or they think, let me just do this. They think that life is going to more or less stay the same, right?
Mhm.
You've probably also heard this saying, devil, is better than the devil you don't know.
Never in my life.
You never heard that?
No.
Really?
Must be an
Interesting.
Australian thing.
Rich, you ever heard that?
Yeah, I've heard it before.
Basically, what it means is like, let's say you have a job, Maria. Let's say you have a corporate job and the pay's okay, the work's okay, your manager's just a bit of a cunt, right? And you're thinking about getting a new job, but you're not really pursuing it. Yeah, I can hear you, Rich.
Okay.
You're thinking about getting a new job, but you're not really committed to it. And then when your friend, hears you bitching and moaning about this manager, she's like, "Oh my God, Maria, you need to get a new job. You need to get out of there."
Yeah.
A lot of people might say, "Well, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know." The chance is like, what if I go and get a new job? And what if there's like a worse manager? Or what if like the workload is higher? Or what if? And
Like
so they say,
rational pain, kind of.
yeah. So then they say the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. Right?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm going to dismantle some fallacies for you guys here today so that we
Ready.
can dismantle these fallacies for your prospects and your customers. Okay. The first thing that I want to quickly question you guys on is, we'll come back to this later on. All right. But let me just like go through some scenarios with you. Maria, you go to the gym, you're out here peddling your fucking WOP sponsorship every day, right? Talking about this active lifestyle, which is dope, right? You probably have goals. You might be trying to lose weight or gain weight, depending on what sort of stage you're in.
Mhm.
And, you're trying to improve your physique. Okay. So for you, like, this is your present day and you're actively doing things to try and continue growing, continue improving, continue getting better, continue climbing, right?
Mhm.
So let me ask you a question. Like with that, you're probably trying to eat a healthy diet that serves your fitness goals, your physique goals. You're probably going to the gym, a certain amount of times per week, right?
Mhm.
And so you're doing things today that set you on this trajectory, okay,
Yeah.
to end up in a better place than you are presently in the
Mhm.
future. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, right? Let's say that you stop your diet. Let's say that you stop going to the gym, right? And stop taking your supplements. And God forbid, let's say that you even remove your whoop, right? Let's say that you do all these things. No one can stop Father Time, right? Time is going to continue ticking by, okay? What's going to happen to your physique? What's going to happen to your fitness goals and your fitness journey? It's going to go
They're
like
going
this,
down. I'm
right?
getting. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's all good. That's all good. All right, cool. That's number one. All right, Rich, let's go to you, brother. Let's say that you're in a salary job where you don't have any, control over your income. You get your $50,000 a year or whatever the fuck it might be in your corporate 9 to 5 job. Okay. Now, let's say that you're like studying at university, you're working extra hours on your job, even though you don't get paid overtime. You're doing all these things. Okay. So that in the future, where are you going to end up?
Yeah, it goes up.
Right? Your income, ideally, you get a promotion, you get skills to be able to get a better job, right? You do all those things. Now, let's say that you don't study, and let's say that you don't put in overtime, and let's say that you stay in that same position and 5 years go past. Where do you end up financially?
Same place.
Do you?
Well, if you stay in the same position, your finances will go up if you're saving. But if you're not doing anything to change what you're trying to do, then it either goes up or it goes down.
What happens to the cost of things over time?
They do get more expensive.
What happens to the value of money over time?
Gets down.
So if you stay in the same job earning 50K a year and your salary doesn't change, what happens over time? Do you stay in the same place?
Yeah, and in certain metrics, yeah, you do lose out.
I mean, you might say on paper, I'm still getting 50K a year, but
Yeah.
does your rent go up? Does your electricity go up? Does the cost of a steak dinner at a restaurant go up? Do you
Yeah.
have a second kid and then you have more expenses? So do you really stay in the same place?
No, it goes down.
Right. So this is something that I really, really, really want to make clear to you guys, not just for you to make clear to your prospects. Like I'm trying to communicate this to you two as human beings. This is a fallacy. This does not exist. The idea of anything staying the same or staying neutral, it's a fucking fallacy. Okay? So, and I mean, like, we can run this 1,000,001 different ways, right? 1,000,001 different ways. I can keep going with different examples to show you that the idea of something staying the same does not exist. Let me ask you this. You have a house, right? You're either proactively making renovations and improvements and repainting and cutting the grass and doing that, right? So that over time, your house is going to look what? Better, right? Value of it might go up if you continue doing that stuff. If you just leave a house and you don't touch it, does it stay the same if I come back to it in 5 years?
No, it loses.
No, it's overgrown. Shit falls off.
Exactly. You got fucking mold growing, rats have moved in, the front yard's overgrown, right? It doesn't stay the same.
Mm-mm.
What about your car? If you don't take it for a service, if you don't try and fill it up, if you don't get it washed every week, if you don't take proactive actions to stay on this lifeline, what happens to your car over time? Does it just stay the same?
Nope. She sure needs to wash.
Oil is gonna freeze up.
So let me ask you, when most people think that they have these 3 options in life, are they seeing straight? Do they actually have these 3 opportunities, these 3 options, these 3 roads?
So what changes if nothing changes is definitely like it's always a decline. It's never, wow, my brain is exploding. Sorry.
In a good way, I hope.
Yeah, no, I just like, I've never really thought about like, when it comes to that question specifically or like something like that, I just like, I never think about like, your life doesn't stay the same. That's impossible.
When people say, oh, yeah, I'll like, when you say, what happens if nothing changes? And people say, well, I guess I'll be in the same place 6 months from now. Does not exist. That is not an option. By the laws of the universe, that does not exist.
Yeah.
You will not be in the same place 6 months from now. You will either be better or you'll be worse.
It's really hard to build consistency like that. Wow. My brain is popping.
Love it. Do we all understand this? Like, I really want you guys to internalize this, not just like hear the words, but actually like adopt this as a worldview or like as a belief, because it's very powerful and it really forces you Because honestly, guys, what this fucking is right here for a lot of people, it's a get out of jail free card. It's an escape route. It's a scapegoat, right? It's a, well, I can try hard and I can go up, but what I have right now is not that bad. And so I'll just sit with this.
Yeah.
But you don't have that option, right? And then subconsciously, while you're asleep at the wheel of life, things start going like this, right?
And you don't even notice it because you think things are the same. But in reality,
Exactly.
the world continues to evolve and move forward, and it's either going to move with you or without you.
Yeah. I mean, like, even in sales, if you're not
Yeah.
continually trying to learn and get better at sales,
You're going to get worse.
you're going to get worse, because what happens to the market that you're selling to? They get smarter, they get more sophisticated. Old sales tactics are no longer as effective. I guarantee you guys to try and sell with some of the shit that they were pulling in the 80s. See how far that gets you today in 2025.
Would you like to?
Exactly. Smile
Are
and
you tired of your vacuum getting locked?
Yeah.
So, like, if you don't continually take conscious, deliberate action to get better and to improve, you will degrade.
Yeah.
You're either growing or dying. Those are the only two options in life. You're growing or dying.
Doesn't exist in this scenario.
Sorry?
So plateauing doesn't exist in this scenario.
It doesn't exist in any scenario. It doesn't exist in life. Show me something. Give me an example of something that has stayed the same over a long enough period of time. Has the Amazon rainforest stayed the same?
No.
Have the oceans stayed the same? Have animal species stayed the same?
Fully. My brain is exploding. Yeah, no, you're
Have-
right. You're so
Do
right.
societies stay the same? Or
Never.
do they either die and get fucking eradicated like the Soviet Union, or do they grow and they flourish? And they expand?
Yeah.
So these, in reality, these are the only two options somebody has. And if they don't choose this, then by default, they are choosing this.
Let me take a screenshot of that really quick.
This does not exist.
How do we approach that on a sales call?
We'll get there. So now going back to this saying of the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know, and going off the back of what I've just spoken to you guys about, I want you to help me understand why this is actually a fallacy.
I think like
Keep our-
sorry. In the perspective of like a human being who is like indoctrinated, like staying in your comfort zone is easier for your brain to process, and it goes back to like plateauing. Like even when you said that, I was thinking about a different version of me who thought I was plateauing, but I just had like a crazy flashback in my brain, and it's like, no, I was never plateauing. I was actually getting worse. And like I didn't realize that. I thought that it was like, oh, I'm just stagnant. Like I won't get any better. Like it'll be fine. No, I just actually like I got worse, like really bad. And it was because I wasn't working hard enough to get better. I was super complacent, and my complacency, instead of like letting me ride a singular wave in my comfort zone, it just made me worse over time without me realizing it. By the time I noticed, it was too hard for me to catch up.
I'm going to blow your mind one step further when we start applying this to sales. But before we do that, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know, right? This is a cope that a lot of people use. I'm going to give you guys the answer on this. Unless, Rich, do you want to have a chance at telling me why this is a fallacy, why this is false?
It's false because I think the devil you know constantly gets smarter.
Now we're cooking. Let me see if I can do this. So they say the devil you know is better than the devil that you don't know, right? I'm going to explain to you why that is a fallacy. Because if things gradually proceed more extreme in one direction or the other, then what happens to the devil that you know today as time goes on?
Ego growth. They get bigger, richer, smarter.
Well, let me ask you this, right? So, like, if the devil you know today is just a bit of an annoying manager at work, and you've been in that job for 3 months, can I ask you something, Maria? If you use the idea that the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know, if you use that as a crutch, as a justifier as to why you just decide to stay in the same job for another 2 years, if I was to hand you two options, option one, you have to deal with a shitty manager for 3 months, and option two, you have to deal with a shitty manager for 2 years, which one do you think is harder?
I've done it, so I know what it's like. Dealing with her for 4 years, so I was killed myself.
Right. But why did you get to 4 years? Because you're like, oh, it's okay. Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's okay. And then you look back, and this devil has consumed 4 years of your life. And it has, the stress has built and built and built and built and built over time. Right. So the devil you know gets worse. The devil you know today is an even bigger devil tomorrow, is an even bigger devil the next day. Right.
Yeah.
So where this applies in sales and why this is really, really crucial for you guys to understand, because this is really what you're saving people from when you have sales calls with them, is number one, getting them to realize this doesn't exist. That's number one. Getting them to realize they have option A or option B. There is no option C right here. Okay? But then number two, how you can actually use this to your advantage in sales, right, is by you understanding that this doesn't exist. Okay? We're gonna go about it like this. Someone does the program, just to make it very, very simple. They do the program, they end up on this lifeline.
Mhm.
You know what I mean when I say lifeline, right? Like just a path.
Pathway, yeah.
Yeah. So they do the program, they've taken initiative to move in a positive direction, to be held accountable, to get a mentor, to learn new information, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people think that if they don't do the program, a lot of people think that they're going to be on this lifeline, all right?
Yeah.
But we know that's not the case. The reality is they're going to be on this lifeline.
That is so true. Because the language they use is as if it doesn't matter if I reach out to you again next year in March. Like I'm gonna be in a better place. Like I'm gonna be in that, right? They all say that, like, oh, I'll just be in a better place next year, or da, da, da. Very interesting. Yeah.
Right? So this is also why the best sales coaches tell you that follow-up is very effective. I'll tell you why. Because you follow up with somebody today, they're here. You follow up with them in a month, they're here. You follow up with them in 6 months, they're here. You follow up with them in a year, they're here. What happens over time is their pain
gets stronger.
Gets stronger to the point where they fall lower and lower. And then you can hold them accountable. Say, well, you didn't do this a month ago. Do you have more savings? You told me you would. Oh, you don't. Okay. Well, if that happened in the last month, then like chances of you having more savings in the next month, what do they look like? You follow up in 2 months.
Dude, I promise, man. Dude, trust me, I'm gonna have more say. I just messed up last time.
Right.
I did this. Yeah.
Right. So you follow up and you follow up, and then eventually the pain threshold gets so big that they're like, fuck, I need to do something. And they're like, all right, cool. I'm going to make a decision and I'm going to jump onto this lifeline by taking action.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
So one thing that I want you guys to remember, not just when you're on sales calls and talking to prospects, but remember this in your own life, right? Is this, the idea of anything staying neutral or the same does not exist, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing, right? You could skip the gym today. You might not immediately realize a very negative consequence of that, right? But on a long enough time horizon, you will.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Okay.
I see.
But it also goes in the same way in the opposite direction. You might go to the gym today and not realize anything, but you go to the gym every day and you take positive action long enough time horizon, you will.
Yeah.
Right? The issue is that a lot of people's perspective on life is about this big. So when they're here, all the lines look the same. They're all very close to each other.
And does that go back to instant gratification?
Yeah. Part of it. So what is super important and what we do on a sales call is we pull somebody out of looking at the, whatever this is, let's say like the 5 minute timeline, or the whole like live my life a quarter mile at a time or whatever it is, just looking at a very short patch, right?
Yeah.
And in this conversation that we have with them, this is where also future pacing and cost of inaction comes into play. We're getting them to look at things at this scale, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Any questions?
That was fire. I'm taking a screenshot. Yeah, no, that's fire.
Amazing. I'm glad it was valuable. We can, let me stop sharing.
Oh, wow, our time is up. I didn't even realize.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, no, actually, like, I feel like this is a really good way to start the week too, because it sets that intention right away that it's like, this is what building the gap really means. In my, like, that's just what I just internalize. Like, what does it really mean to build a gap? Well, that's what it is.
Yeah,
That
and
was
getting
just-
people to realize by like looking at their past attempts, looking at their current situation, looking what they've tried in the past, looking at what their goals are and getting them to realize like, hey, if you stay on this current lifeline, you will actually get worse. You will not get better. You need to pull that lever on the train tracks that goes like this so that you can actually change direction and take action of some sort. And this is why I say to people all the time, if you have a conversation with someone and they end up buying someone else's program and not ours, that's fine. Because as long as they've done something, like obviously we want them to buy our program, right? But the main thing we want them to do is take action, improve their lives. We want to help them. We want to give them perspective. We want to give them accountability to realize, yeah, you know what? Fuck. I need to do something here. And I think the biggest fallacy is that people think if you do the same thing, things will stay the same. If you just leave things as they are. But think about that. I think that's really interesting. Like even just from a laws of the universe perspective, try and find me something that stays the same. Even this fucking chair that I'm sitting in, if I just put it outside and I waited 20 years, it's not going to be the same.
No, it rottens over time. Everything does. Ah! Okay. I'm spiraling.
Love it. Cool. Alrighty, guys. Rich, how you
What's
feeling,
up,
man?
Pretty good. I agree with Maria. I like your analogy. I think I even told you this last week, man. Like the training that you do is very good, man. It's very like realigning. At least for me, it's very realigning because I make notes all the time about just the calls I'm having, and then I talk to you, and I'm like, that would have saved me all these fucking notes, right? But it's also good context because now I have my internal reference versus your external reference. So
Yeah.
10%, dude. I like it.
Amazing. Love it,
Nice.
guys. Glad that this was valuable. Glad that it helped. If you guys need anything, let me know. I'm here. And yeah, we'll rip it. We'll rip it again soon.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Bob.
Anthony. You're awesome, dude.
Pleasure.
Appreciate you.
You
You're the
guys
best.
are awesome. Crush it.
Bye.
Bye.